Okay. Alrighty then. Well, I know it's Friday, and I'm normally not here on Fridays, but I'm here today because it's a special Friday. Okay. It's like the Friday before Christmas. Okay. Helping Hands, and we got a little more work to do on that. So we need to be at work today. Can't be sleeping, sitting down on the job, laying down on the job, and all that kind of stuff. We got to be up, humping, grinding, do whatever it is that we got to do. You got to quit telling people to start grinding and you don't grind. So it's time to rise and shine, people. I know you're not out there looking for me this morning. I know that, but I'm here. I'm here driving on because there are some things in life that are much more important than me getting a little extra sleep. Okay, because at the end of the day, with truth be told, we're gonna get a whole lot of sleep at the end anyway. So I might as well get up and find something to do. Good morning, Montgomery. It is the 19th day of December, believe it or not, 2021. I know I'm normally not here on Fridays, but I am because we still got some work to do with our Helping Hands thing. Because I need to find a woman who put somebody in who I went to an apartment yesterday looking for, and I couldn't find him because she gave me the story, but she didn't give me she didn't give me how to reach the guy. So I'm gonna try to do that today on the show. Okay. But right now though, it's time for us to rise and shine and get up. It is a great day, an outstanding day, a fantastic day to be alive. So can we get up and get things going? Can we do that? Please get up and get things going. Don't be laying in bed thinking that you're trying to get over on people. It is time to get up.
We change the world and history right here where we're from. It's no beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. In our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I appreciate that.
Well, it's time to rise and shine. One more day above the ground, and the ground's not above you. I say that's a lot to be thankful for this morning. Me too. I agree with you. Anyway, it is what time is it? It is 7:10 in the morning on this Friday morning, which is I'm normally not here, but it is whatever it's that Friday it is. Right? Always trying to raise just a little bit more, just in case somebody needs a little bit more. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Next up, it is time for our daily bread. A word from on high. Something that will change your perspective, or at least maybe give you another. All right. So hang loose, and we'll be back. Okay. We shall return uno momento. Okay. So hang loose, and we'll be back. All right. I love this. Me and AI built this song. I just want y'all to know that. Okay. So I love it. We'll be back. Hang loose. Next up, our daily bread.
Hello, thanks for joining us for Our Daily Bread. Your host is Les Lamborn.
Did you know that by God's grace we can reflect His light in the dark times? The Blame Game is the title of today's meditation, written by Marion Stroud. When Jenny's husband left her for another woman, she vowed that she would never meet his new wife. But when she realized that her bitterness was damaging her children's relationship with their father, she asked for God's help to take the first steps toward overcoming bitterness in a situation she couldn't change. In Genesis chapter 16, we read the story of a couple to whom God promised a baby. When Sarai suggested that her husband Abram have a child with their servant Hagar, she wasn't fully trusting God for the child he had promised. When the baby was born, Hagar despised Sarai, and Sarai became bitter. Hagar had been the slave with no rights, and suddenly she was special. How did Sarai react? By blaming others, including Abram. God's promise was realized in the birth of Isaac 14 years later. Even his weaning celebration was spoiled by Sarai's attitude. It may never have been easy for Sarai to have lived with the consequences of their decision to go ahead of God. It may have taken a miracle of grace to change her attitude, but that could have transformed everything. Sarai couldn't reverse the decision, but through God's strength, she could have lived it differently and given God the glory. Genesis chapter 16, verses 1 through 6, is the record of Sarai dealing with Hagar. I'll read from Genesis chapter 16, verses 1 through 6. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, and she had an Egyptian maidservant whose name was Hagar. So Sarai said to Abram, "See now that the Lord has restrained me from bearing children. Please go into my maid. Perhaps I shall obtain children by her." And Abram heeded the voice of Sarai. Then Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan. So he went in to Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress became despised in her eyes. Then Sarai said to Abram, "My wrong be upon you. I gave you my maid into your embrace, and when she saw that she had conceived, I became despised in her eyes. the Lord judge between you and me." So Abram said to Sarai, "Indeed your maid is in your hand. Do to her as you please." And when Sarai dealt harshly with her, she fled from her presence. Heavenly Father, we ask that you would help us to deal with situations in life with more grace than we see in Sarai and Abram. Although they were people of great faith, they hadn't trusted you completely. Help us to trust you completely and to lean not on our own understanding. Thank you, Father, for it's in Jesus' name that we ask. Amen. And as you think about today's meditation, remember, by God's grace, we can reflect His light in the dark times. My name is Les Lamborn. We trust that you found help from the reading of today's meditation, and we'd encourage you to tell others about this ministry. You can also check out odb.org for other resources that may be of help to you. Look under the menu items at the top of the page for more helpful information. You'll find devotional materials, listing of our radio and television programs, resources, blogs, and much more. Explore these items for more spiritual help for your life. That's odb.org.
And good morning, everybody. As you can see, our presenters of the United States Armed Forces alma maters, or their songs, the anthems, is done by our local Macmillan International Academy. Young kids, granddaughters on there too. I know what their voice sounds like. I can hear when I'm hearing this thing. So good morning to you. It's kind of rising. It's a Friday, but it's a great Friday. It's a Friday that you're on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. So let's get up, let's get the move. Alrighty then. Alrighty. Okay, so you know it's Friday, right? So I got to give you guys one of my so the reason I didn't play it yesterday because I have let me see put my face out there again. So we got to play the my thing today. And today's message, okay, by the speaker is about one of the most important human attributes that a human being can have. Does anybody know what that is? And one more thing, one more. I gotta let you guys know this now. I gotta let everybody know this because the man is in the house. Okay, so he's not here. Okay, but he's at home. He's in town, and before he leaves, he's going to come on this thing with me, hopefully, and tell you guys about his adventures in the United States Army. So I don't have to, and here's what I've decided to do. Here's what I have decided to do. It's been a long time. I know people. If you hear me talk, sometimes think I just got retired a couple of days ago. And it's been a few years ago. And so here's what I've decided to do. Since I have a lineage now, somebody is carrying on the tradition. I'm going to put all my Army stuff up real soon, put it in a bag, because that era is over for me. But it was a great ride. I got to tell you, it was a great ride. But now that my son is there, let's give him some. Although he don't have no jump wings yet, but that's up to him. So anyway, so next week you'll see my flag back there, but everything else you won't see. It's time that we give him the glory. He's the one serving. He's the one doing his thing. So I'm gonna be a rotten civilian. Okay, I'll never be a total civilian, but I'm gonna be one. I know, and it was a hard decision, but you know what? I'm a nobody out there, So hey, my importance doesn't come by from what a uniform I wear, although it was a pretty good importance at the time. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it all up, and now we got another Elkins in the United States Army. So that was my whole job all these years, to make sure we had one more. I couldn't get the first Elkins to go in, but now I got this one. Anyway, but now I just thought I'd let you know. Go Z. That's right. But he'll be on before he leaves. Just to talk to the peoples. He is taller than I am, but everybody's taller than me. I'm so shocked when I meet somebody that I'm taller than. I don't know what to do. I go up to them and shake their hand. I say, hey, and I, here's what I really love when I'm going through the store, and there's a young lady or old lady, whoever it is, can't reach something. You know how glad it makes me to be able to reach it for them. There ain't too many people I can reach things for. But every once in a while, I go in the store, Winn-Dixie, the place on Coliseum Boulevard, all that stuff. And every once in a while, I'll have to go down the aisle and help somebody with something on a high shelf. Of course, I'm not that much taller than they are, but I can reach up there and get it for them. So that's good. Anyway, next up. Good morning, Mr. Riot. Good morning, Big Daddy Kane, Big Daddy Maine. Let me see who else I got up here. Okay, all right then. Everybody, somebody's up there. All right, good. Now, today is the last day we can collect money. And then, listen, if you don't have any, don't even worry about it. But if you do, we still take a little bit. I'll tell you how to do that between now and midnight. And see if you want to give us a little bit more so we can help maybe somebody else. I thank all the people who have given this year. And like you do every year, you don't leave me hanging. Although I did take a lot more begging this year than it normally does, but that's okay. $1 I got is better than the $2 I want. Okay, so I'm good. Anyway, so let us go now. One of the best things a human being can be, is to be kind. And so here's a message about kindness, and then we will get on to some other things. Okay, we're gonna get on to some other things. I want y'all to hang loose, but being kind is so important because people's lives are in turmoil. You walk down the street, you don't know what people are going through, and a kind word, just a kind word, maybe stop some guy who's thinking about suicide. Stop somebody who's thinking about killing everybody. Stop somebody who wants to give up. Okay? You be the reason that he didn't or she didn't give up. And just to give you a how that can happen. One day I'm sitting at the red light. There's a guy selling newspapers, and he was looking so down and out. I said, what's up? Because he wasn't hardly selling any, right? He's sitting right there on the corner of Coliseum and Federal Drive. He wasn't really selling. Well, I have this habit of putting all my change in the ashtray like a lot of people do. I'm talking a big old ashtray. And I gave him everything that was in there. And it turned out to be, I didn't know how much that was, but it turned out to be a lot of money. And I saw him a couple of days later, and he was motivated. He was out there trying to do his thing, So the smallest things that we can do for people sometimes, depending on where they are in their life, can help them tremendously. So I'm just saying, while you guys are out there today, do something nice for somebody. Okay, please. And it doesn't have to be big. You buy a sandwich, buy an extra one. Somebody in front of you, buy theirs. I know money is hard to come by, trust me, for all of us. But it's the little things that we do for others that makes the big differences. Okay? So now, again, be kind.
I want to focus on that wonderful concept, that vital virtue that unfortunately and regrettably is often forgotten, the virtue of kindness, being kind. I want you to hear a story. 20 years ago, I drove a cab for a living. When I arrived at 2:30 in the morning, the building was dark except for a single light in a ground floor window. Under these circumstances, many cab drivers would just honk once or twice, wait a minute, then drive away. But I had seen too many impoverished people who depended on taxis as their only means of transportation to drive away. Unless the situation smelled of danger, I always went to the door. So I walked to the door and knocked. Just a moment, answered a frail, elderly voice. After a long pause, the door opened. A small woman in her 80s stood before me. By her side was a small nylon suitcase. "Would you carry this bag out to the car for me?" she said. I took the suitcase out and returned to assist the woman. She took my arm and walked slowly toward the curb. She kept thanking me for my kindness. "Oh, it's nothing," I told her. "I just try to treat all my passengers the way I would want my mother treated." When we got in the cab, she gave me an address. Then she said, "Oh, by the way, could you drive through downtown? It's not the shortest way." "Oh, I don't mind. I'm in no hurry. I'm on my way to a hospice." I looked in the rearview mirror and her eyes were glistening. I don't have any family left," she said, almost to herself. "The doctor says I don't have very long." I quietly reached over and shut off the meter. "What route would you like me to take?" For the next 2 hours, we drove all around the city. She showed me the building where she had once worked as an elevator operator. We drove through the neighborhood where she and her husband had lived when they were newlyweds. She had me pull up in front of a furniture warehouse that had once been a ballroom where she had gone dancing as a girl. Sometimes she'd ask me to slow down in front of a particular building or corner. She would sit staring into the darkness, saying nothing. As the first hint of sun was creasing the horizon, she suddenly said, "Okay, I'm ready. Let's go now." We drove in silence to the address she had given me. It was a low building. 2 orderlies came out to the cab. As soon as we pulled up, they were solicitous and intent, watching her every move. They were expecting her. I opened the trunk, took out the small suitcase, carried it to the door. The woman was already seated in a wheelchair. "How much do I owe you?" she asked. "No, you don't owe me anything," I said. "Oh, you have to make a living," she answered. "Oh, there are other passengers," I responded. Almost without thinking, I bent over and gave her a hug, and she held on to me tightly. "You gave an old woman a little bit of joy," she said. "Thank you." I squeezed her hand, then walked into the dim morning light. Behind me, a door shut. It was the sound of the closing of a life. I drove aimlessly, lost in thought for the rest of the day. I could hardly talk. What if that woman had gotten in an angry driver earlier that morning, or one who was impatient? What if I had refused to take the run, or had honked once and driven away? On a quick review, I don't think I have done anything more important in all my life. I love that story. It sort of helps me allow life to make up its mind again. You need to remember that story. The times you will want to be anything but kind. Because it is so much easier to bear a grudge and hate in return, or get back, or get even. Hate destroys the vessel it's kept in. Revenge never healed a wound. There's one thing all of us have in common: we've been mistreated by somebody. Some of you have known abuse, misunderstanding, and all of this has a way of siphoning your tank of kindness. It can make you hard. And you can get on with hard. You can get along with it. In fact, some will even respect you more because you're tough. But I urge you not to be. Be kind, tender-hearted, forgiving one another. When I'm truly free of revenge and bitterness, there is plenty of room in my heart left for kindness. And not until. Do what's right. Do justice. Love kindness. Walk humbly with your God.
Maybe you were born a really nice person with a gentle, sweet personality, and being kind to people comes pretty naturally to you, but I think more of the globe is not that way than is. And the good news is we can change.
It's amazing what one kind word can do. We don't think anything about it, but to the other person, it breathes life into their spirit. Our words have the power to lift people, to help them get through a challenge, to push them into their destinies. When you tell someone, I love you, I'm proud of you, you did great on that project, you're not just being kind, those are healing words. We don't know what people are going through. They may smile on the outside, but on the inside, they're hurting, they're lonely, they're discouraged. Many people have wounds from the past, wounds from a relationship that didn't work out, wounds from people trying to push them down. Just a simple word of encouragement. I believe in you. I'm praying for you. A simple compliment. You look beautiful today. It's no big deal to you, but to them, it's helping heal the wounds. It's lifting their spirits. It's causing them to believe in themselves. Your words can be what keeps them moving forward. And God puts people in our lives on purpose so we can bring healing. Letting people know that you care does more than you imagine. You have the power to put someone on their feet. You have the power to keep them from falling into depression. You have the power to cause them to pursue their dreams. Be free with your compliments. You can think well of your friend all day long, but if you never tell them, they'll never know. God wouldn't have brought it up if He didn't want you to tell them. He wouldn't have put that thought in you if the other person didn't need it. You may not know them. It may not make sense to you, but God knows what He's doing. There's a reason they need your healing. Don't withhold it. Don't try to reason it out. In my early 20s, a young man started coming up to the gym to play basketball with us. He was a loner. He was very unfriendly, very cold. He never talked. Even during the games, he wouldn't interact with us. Most of the guys just ignored him. But something down in here told me to reach out to him and make him feel welcome. I found out that his name was Bo. When he would come into the gym, I would go over and say, "Hey, Bo, it's great to see you today." He never said anything. He just hit his chest twice and walked away. I didn't know what that meant, but I hit my chest twice and walked away. This went on for several years. I saw him 4 or 5 times a week. Well, I stopped playing basketball there, and I hadn't seen Bo in over 20 years. One Sunday, he showed up at church. I saw him afterwards. I thought, where do I know this guy from? He said, "I'm Bo. We used to play basketball together." That's the most I'd ever heard him talk. He went on to tell how he grew up in the projects. At 14, he started living on his own. Nobody wanted him. He never felt loved or accepted. He said, "One of the main reasons I went up to the gym was to hear you say, 'Great to see you today,' because nobody had told me that they were glad to see me." Those simple words, letting him know that I cared, were like life-giving water. Today, Bo is married. He introduced me to his children. He's setting a new standard for his family. What am I saying? Nobody is in your life by accident. Don't ignore what you feel on the inside, that compassion to encourage them, that desire to be their friend. Take time to make them feel loved. Doesn't have to be something big. Just good to see you. I believe in you. I'm praying for you. Just let them know that you care.
To be kind. The world can have too
I
many
want to
things.
focus on that one.
The world can have too much of a lot of things, but we will never get too much kindness now, will we? No, we will not. Anyway, good morning to you, everybody. Hope that they find you well. I'm just looking at, it's almost Christmas, right? So I'm looking at a story a couple minutes ago. And now this is coming from New York, right? New York. It says Mount Vernon, New York. A long time police officer, okay, a guy who's been a policeman for years. Okay, for years. He is getting ready to retire. Okay, getting ready to retire. And so what they have decided to do. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me hang loose. Let me show this. Let me share this with you guys, because you guys are not going to believe this. You're just not going to believe this. And this is why people have a hard time sometimes, shall we say, accepting things. Okay, now this is the guy right here. Let me see what he's got to say. Okay, then. Let me see. You're not going to believe what they're doing to him. Okay?
9 hours of dialysis 7 days a week to maintain my health.
Well, first of all, he has some. He's battling kidney failure. Okay,
9 hours.
He's battling kidney failure, and this is in New York, where we're willing to give anybody, throw people out of places to give them free money and stuff like that. But this guy is a police officer, a guy who wore the badge, collect and serve, and he got 6 months to go before his retirement, and they terminated him so they wouldn't have to pay for his retirement. Now, this is New York, the place that calls everybody else is fascists and things of that nature. So, but I'll let him tell his own story.
9 hours of dialysis 7 days a week to maintain my health. Without that, I wouldn't survive.
Derek Williams describing his declining health, surrounded by retired Mount Vernon police officers supporting their brother in blue. Williams is a 19-year veteran, a former member of the Elite Emergency Service Unit. In 2020, he contracted COVID after months of working double shifts.
Derek's character caused him to come in and work and support this city and the residents of this city during the worst pandemic that we've had.
The department has classified Williams' kidney failure as a non-job related illness and stopped paying him when he became too sick to work. Doctors have cleared the 45-year-old for desk duty, and he's just 6 months shy of qualifying for a reduced pension. That request has been denied.
I begged for my job back. I begged to come in whatever hours I
Now remember, this is New York, the one who always wants to tell us how bad we are. Right, gotcha.
And that I can capable of doing, and I was told there's no light duty for me.
Earlier this month, Williams received a termination letter effective December 31st, which would not only end his career, it would cut off his health insurance.
I just feel like they have no empathy, they have no compassion.
To be just thrown like in the garbage, like it's over.
I feel you, bro.
It's ridiculous.
To be blunt, if you're terminating his employment, you're terminating his life in so many words.
Wow. I mean,
slow down.
Anybody...
Too fast, Trevor. Too fast.
I know what I'm doing, Mom.
And you.
I got you on that one. Yeah, but you see that this is why I do not pay whiners, okay, especially them idiots up there in New York, much attention at all, because what comes out of their mouth is one thing, but their actions are such. So we would rather, and again, I don't have anything against illegal aliens or anything like that, but we got hotels up there. We putting people who've never paid a dime in taxes in, and the city of New York is paying for this. But the police department, okay, the police department is taking this guy's, because he got bad kidneys 6 months before his retirement, rather than just give him some light, and he goes to kidney dialysis 7 days a week. So I mean, so what's important up there? Okay, you got me. Okay, you know what I'm saying. Okay, you got me. So I don't know, but if you hear from them all the time, they are the creme de la creme. They gonna teach us all how to do it. Okay. Don't forget our sponsor, which is One Stop Wireless, which is located at 3445 Atlanta Highway. 3445 Atlanta Highway. Where if you got a cell phone or you need a cell phone, or you got a cell phone that ain't been on in a long time, hasn't been on in a long time, they can turn your phone back on. You got one of them nice Apple phones, you got the bill. When you got it, they said, get this on me. Then you find out it really wasn't on me, on them, it was on you. I feel you on that, because that happened to me a couple of times. I mean, I'm telling them, hey, come down here and get this tablet. This tablet's on us. Yeah, free. And then after you get done, after they keep you there for 6 hours, wear you down. Then they tell you in the small writing, oh, it's going to be put onto the bill with the phone. Well, that ain't on you. That's still on me. But anyway, they don't play that over there, okay? You got a phone and they turned it off, they can turn it back on for you, okay? Or if you need a phone, they can help you out. Right on the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. Right there, right in the next gas station called Shell gas station, or Yellow, whatever it is, or whatever the name of it is. My buddy's down there anyway. So you go down there, they hook you up with a phone, and you can get a phone as low as $25 a month. Okay. I'm just saying the service, unlimited this, unlimited that. They don't power down they don't deaccelerate your speed because you're using more than they think you ought to be. Nope. I'm telling you, go down there and see them. And the number is 320-2988. Okay. 320-2988. And they're located at 3445 Atlanta Highway on the corner of Atlanta Highway and Coliseum Boulevard. Go see them. Okay. If you need a phone, if you're tired of getting it stuck to you by AT&T, AD&D and Verizon and all them people right there, these folks will hook you up. I know, I've been with them for 10 years. Okay, having a great time too. Never, okay. Well, one time I missed the payment. Things was rough for me that month. So, and they still hooked the brother up. So I'm just telling you, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be right there with them. Okay, until the doors close. But the good work they're doing, I don't expect those doors to close anytime soon. All right, don't forget, today is the last day of collecting money for our Good Hands Neighbor Award. The Good Neighbor Award, that's what we call it. And what we're going to do, and Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award is what we call it. And this is how people have sent in letters saying, well, these people can use a hand, these people can use a hand. And come Monday, we're going to go out there, me and Mr. Robinson, we are going to go out, Randy, we're going to go out there and we are going to surprise a few people. Thanks to you guys. Now I don't have much money. But I always say a little from everybody will help a lot of people. Okay, and that's what we do every year. And I want to thank the folks who've given this year, even though some had to sacrifice and give. I appreciate that. So we're going to find them today, and not today. We're going to do it on Monday. They don't know. None of them know who they are. None of them know who they are. So Randy's going to have the camera, and then none of them know who they are. So we're going to show up, knock this out, and help folks out, and do what we can do. And I just tell them to thank you guys, because you guys are the ones who do it every year. So if you want to help I got one more day. Today's the last day of collecting money. You need to go to GoFundMe. Well, forget GoFundMe, because I found out GoFundMe charges you money to take your money. I said, come on, man. I mean, they got to make money too, but I think they're making a little bit extra umbrella out there. So, but if you don't have any other way of doing it, you can go to GoFundMe, and you can find you can go to Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award. Whatever amount you want to give, it's fine. If you have Venmo, you can do that. Venmo at Kevin-Elkins-21. And last but not least, we got Cash App, baby. Everybody got Cash App. Okay. If you can, 241-9998, area code 334-241-9998. You'll see my smiling face up there, and whatever amount you want to give, we appreciate that. Okay, just in case we run into some extra people in the next couple of days that may need a little of this and a little of that, to help their Christmas a little bit better. We can't provide Christmas for everybody, but my motto is we can't help everybody, but we can certainly help somebody, and that's the motto. Okay, so again, go to GoFundMe and Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award. You can find it, or you can go to Venmo at Kevin. Okay, is that at Kevin-Elkins-21? Do your Venmo thing there, or you can always go to, again, Cash App. Cash App is still pretty reasonable, a little fee they charge, so ain't no problem with that. And you put my number in, 334-241-9998. Give whatever amount you can, $2, $3, $4, $5, whatever the case may be, because $5 that you have is better than the $100 that you want. So I'm good. We don't turn nothing down, okay? Because inevitably every year there's always somebody say, "Well, I didn't know about you." Well, you ought to be listening to the show, okay? You ought to be listening to the show, but y'all be listening to other stuff, they don't be doing nothing for you. My people always do something for people. My listeners always are willing to do something for people. So I got to tell you, talk about y'all sometime, but I love you. Okay. I think my relationship with you guys is kind of like my relationship with my kids. Some days I love them, and some days I want to get rid of them. Anyway, Z's home. So he'll be here for a couple weeks. I'll get him on the show one of these mornings, and we'll talk to him and talk to you guys and everything else. Now, what is the lesson of life today? And then we get on to some serious things here. What is the lesson of life today? Now, lesson of life, these are things we learn by living. There is no replacement, no artificial means of assimilating information without life. Okay? And the things we learn as we live, it is immeasurable, the things that we learn. Now, before we get into any news things, you see who's going to run? Now, Ensler got to make my mind up here. Okay, I thought he was going back to New York. Okay, now he ain't going back to New York. Now, I like Inslee, though. But now he's going to run for lieutenant governor. Well, I'm good with that. Yeah, I'm good at I'm good at that. Okay, but the lesson of life today is this one: everyone in their lives, we all need a reason to cry. Not because you want to, it is because every once in a while in your life, you need to. And there's no shame in hurting. The shame would be if you had no one to hurt for. Okay? That's what the shame would be. Again, everyone in their life needs to cry. Not because you want to do it. It's because every once in a while in your life, you need to. Okay? There is no shame in hurting or feeling bad or anything like that. Nope. You can You can do lots of things for people if you have empathy for them. And if you have empathy, then you will cry at some time in your life. And again, it would be a shame not to have anything to cry for. Anyway, y'all keep trying to get my studio, but you're not doing the right thing. You gotta give access to the camera and to the microphone when you try to log in on the virtual studio. Okay, you got to do that before you try to get on. All right, then. I appreciate you anyway. Then, okay. So, Tony, when you log in, you got to give access to your microphone and your camera. Okay, so try it again. Anyway, good morning to you. Hope today finds everybody well. Okay. Now, yesterday we asked a question, and every time we ask the question, somebody takes us on a journey from here to Mars. Here's to Mars, and I think it's an appropriate question to ask people, given the time of year it is. I hear a lot of people criticize the quote unquote the conservatives about their beliefs or whatever the case may be. I hear a lot of people. I'm still trying to figure out, what do they believe that threatens you? Why we don't have bro, I just don't see it. You're doing something wrong there. You're doing something wrong there. Either your camera ain't working or something. So try to get back in a little bit later here. Okay. So what plank of the conservative mantra is bad? Why does it seem it's okay to pick on television shows in our current society? What is it that they believe in that hurts you so bad? I mean, can somebody tell me? What is it? Conservatives give more when it comes to giving, and it's not, and maybe they got more. I don't know. But the richest people in Congress right now are the Democrats. On the Democrat, they got some of the richest people. They got more rich Democrats in the House than they got Republicans. So, what is it that just strains your brain that it seems to be okay to kill folks? I mean, why do you hate them? I mean, why do you hate people who have a set of core beliefs? That don't make them perfect. Just because you say in your heart you believe, well, we all step on it. Okay, we all step on it. Preachers step on it. Ministers step on it. Bishops step on it. Police chiefs step on it every once in a while. That doesn't make you perfect, but it does mean that there's a place you'll go and go no further if you really believe what you say. So I'm just asking the question, why is everybody so against people who call themselves conservatives? I mean, I just like to know. Anybody got the answer? Somebody got to have the answer. What is it that conservatives do that bugs people? They want you to be accountable for yourself. They don't want to take you on as a dependent for the rest of your life. I think that's pretty good. Okay. I mean, why, you don't think you should go to jail for robbing people? I mean, what is it? What is it? Somebody got to tell me. Oh, 521-2963. Let me make sure I put that on. Because somebody's got to have an answer. Because they're always coming under attack. Like Christianity in America is always coming under attack. For what reason, I don't have a clue. But they are. I mean, nobody gets mad at, well, we get somewhat upset, but we don't get mad when they take you out if you say you're a girl and you're really a guy, and if you think you're a guy and you're really a girl. I mean, listen, that's up to you. Okay? I just said, just don't insult me by telling you actually became one. But again, we may be disgusted by your decisions, but we're not ready to take you out because you got some issues upstairs in your head. That's cool. That's all right. Hopefully that's why we got doctors and people walk around in white suits. That's why we do that, because there are certain people who won't think like the general public. Okay. But I'm just saying, okay, Is this what it is? Conservatives believe in closed borders, no men in the women's sport. Oh, I'm agree with you. Or the bathrooms, lower taxes, and low crime. I find nothing wrong with that. That's a reasonable position to take on all of those subjects. And we don't believe in wholesale abortion. I'm not a really conservative. I'm more of a moderate because my mind can be changed about some things. But I don't believe that. Now, the one conservative position I got, I don't believe that everybody need to be walking around Alabama with a gun. I just don't believe that. I don't think our founding fathers meant for Tom, Dick, and Harry to walk around with a gun. Now, if this was the Old West, I can understand that because wasn't much law, and you were your kind of like your own lawman. I got that part. We don't live in that time, okay? And that thing that I can't get over that part. It says regulate militia. That's the part I can't get over. Militia are National Guards, man. Now, back in the day in the 1800s, if you were 16 to 60, you actually were a militia because you could be called up. Okay, you could be called up and go to service and fight wars at any time. 16 to 60. So I understand that, but we don't have that kind of militia anymore. We call those crooks now. Okay, we got the National Guard, we got the Army Reserve, we got people out there on Maxwell with airplanes. They can come get you real quick. I mean, we got all kinds of things. We got police, state patrol, security guard. We got all kinds of people. And I don't want to listen. I don't want to take people's guns away. I just want to make sure that people with the guns legally have the mental capacity in order to use those in the appropriate thing. Like a couple weeks ago, old lady, 87 years old, I think it was in Cleveland somewhere, 87 years old, 3 guys beating down her door. She shot them all. I was so glad she shot them all and killed them all. Good shot. 80, you can't live in your own house. See, I think everybody, like Kennesaw, Georgia, it should be a law that everybody has a weapon in their home. Don't have a problem with that at all. A weapon in your home. You don't need to carry it out in the street with you, but you certainly need to have it in your home. And that way, when these fools come knocking on your door in the middle of the night, these guys had no care. And when you're 16 years old, you're stupid. Okay? 3 of them beating the hell out the woman's door. So she just beat the hell out of them. They knew she was an older person living by herself. And that's one of the reasons why we got to have bars on our doors, that some of our people end up dying because we make excuses for the behavior. And I believe, I'm going to call my legislators and I am going to ask them to get rid of the shield of adolescence. The shield of adolescence. I am sick and tired of not knowing who these little thuglets are, or these YNs are, who go around robbing and killing people, and they do it without consequence, at least without public consequence, because we don't know who they are. If you're over the age of 13, you know what's right and wrong. And if you want to play adult, then you need the consequences of an adult. And so I'm asking, I'm saying, oh, well, we can't tell you who he is. Because he's underage. No. If he has the capacity to pick up a weapon and go rob people, knock on people's doors, take their possession, he's not a juvenile anymore. He's a crook. He's a thug. And if Ensler gets in, or whoever gets in, we're going to ask all the gubernatorial candidates, we're going to ask them all. We need to get rid of the shield of adolescence. Okay, up to 13, we may need to shield them a little bit. After that, brother, you're on your own. Okay, in the state did you know in the state of Alabama you could actually get married at 14 years old? Now you have to have your parents' permission, but if they think you're old enough to handle marriage at 14 years old, why in the world wouldn't you be old enough to handle the consequences of a decision that you make? Yeah, I think Pork Chop Browns should give up this election. Other day I saw him kissing a man, okay, on some event, just lip locking him. I said, Lord have mercy. He don't know he in the South, so nobody's taking him serious. If the Democrats allow him to run on their ticket, then they don't want to win. Okay, nice kid, but he's not ready for the big time yet. Okay, so I mean, he was sitting there kissing a man. My Lord, what's going on with that? But anyway, so some people ought to run for office, and some ought to run from the office. Okay, everybody in the state of Alabama, especially my girl, know this child is not ready to take on the governorship of the state of Alabama. I mean, and what happens here is that it is making a mockery out of some serious people. Next week, I'm going to have there. Did you know there are 4 black women running for governor? I don't know if we're ready for women either, but the woman who ran before, Yolanda Flowers, we're going to get her on sometime next week. She wants to be on, so we'll talk to her. And we got 3 other black women running. And listen, okay, I don't have a problem with women running for office as long as they can do the same thing I can do. Okay. Now that wasn't AI, brother. That wasn't AI. No, I know AI when I see it. This wasn't AI. And if it was AI, that guy ought to go work for a whole lot of people in the public and running for office because he can make them into anything. Okay. So the number's here. If you want to, you want to disagree with me, that's fine. 521-2963. I don't have a problem with that. Just disagree with brother. But all I ask you to do is to articulate what your disbelief is and why you think I'm wrong. Because I am the master of common sense. I have a PhD in it of common sense. Okay. So from now on, just call me Dr. E. Okay. I'm just saying that my new name is Dr. E. Hold on. Let me see now. Make sure I get this right here. See, I get this right. That way, y'all can yeah, there we go, right there. Okay. My new name is Dr. E. Okay, because I need some school to give me an honorary doctorate degree. Okay. Because I deserve it. Yeah, I deserve it. Yeah, I deserve it. I mean, I'm brilliant. Okay, my new name, of course, is Dr. E. Okay, I'm just saying. Wait a minute, it's Dr. E, not just E. Come on, man. What's up with that? Dr. E. That's it. New name E. That so to take advantage of my credentials. Okay. What do you call a girl that's being a guy portraying to? What do you call? Okay, let me get this right. What do you call a girl that's being a guy portraying to be a guy? A burl. Okay, then. I'm going to leave that alone. Okay. Well, I'm the mayor of the airways. Yeah, I'm still the mayor of the airways. Yeah, that too. So I'll be the Dr. E mayor of the airways. Okay. I'm thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, I have been the mayor of the airways for a long time. Okay. So, okay, let's make sure we put that there. Yeah, so the world does not become, because as I traverse the highways and byways, and every time I meet people, I'm most of the time smarter than they are. Okay. Now there have been a couple of people come on the show that I mean, the mayor is quite an intellectual himself. So I got to work hard to keep up with him. And a couple of other people, but other than that, most of the people, I mean, I'm way smarter than they are, but that's okay because common sense is a trait that is gone. If he was transgender or a criminal or an illegal alien, he would be taken care of. Okay, but anyway, so moving right on to other things. Okay, painful things can teach us lessons that we never knew we needed to learn. Just put that in your head someplace. Okay. Woman yesterday, I told you about putting, she was putting, what do you call those, razor blades in people's food in Walmart. Not in Montgomery, in Biloxi, Mississippi. So you don't have to worry about it around here. But in Biloxi, yeah, I wouldn't. I have the bakers get rid of all the bakery items and start all over. Okay. I mean, we got some crazy people in the world. We just do. We got crazy people in the world. Okay. Yesterday I asked the question, if you own your home, do you automatically own the land that it's on? Some people tell me yes. I don't really know. I would think. Then some people say that they give you a 99-year lease on the property. I guess that's included in your house note. I guess I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I would think you could. I mean, no one else can live on that land while you got your house on it, can it? So it might as well be yours, okay? But I don't know. It was a great question. Okay. I got a guy trying to get in. Tony's trying to get in, but he's doing something wrong. So what can I say, Tony? You need to go down to One Stop Wireless and get a new phone. Okay. Get a new phone. Okay. Get a new phone. Or what I can do, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go on my Facebook page and I'm gonna put the the doorway to the I'm gonna put the doorway to the virtual studio right here, and that way you can just click on that and use your computer, and you can come on. You will see a big old blue thing that says StreamYard, and then you can just click on that and get in, because obviously you're not your phone must be cheap. That's all I can tell you. Okay, so now anybody that wants to come in the studio, now you can click on your computer and go to my Facebook page, and you can click on the blue sign that says StreamYard, and it'll bring you right in. Okay, make sure that you give your computer to give access to the video, your video and your sound on your phone. Okay, that's okay. All right, then. Moving right along to other things. What else is there? What else is there to talk about today? Okay, Z is home. Let me see here now. Okay, move on to other things. Barry Moore says that radical Islam, a cancer, devours everything it touches. In the wake of the recent Bondi Beach, Australia thing, ISIS-inspired mass shooting that killed a lot of people, left 15 people dead, more than 20 injured. U.S. Representative Barry Moore, Republican from Enterprise, Alabama, decried the rise in radical Islam across the world. And I will admit to you, out of all now we can say I'm ignorant, and that's good. And you may be right. But of all the places, all the religions, why is this the only one that scares me too? Why is this the only one that bothers me too? I don't know why. They got some things that they believe that I just don't believe, and I don't have to believe it. But again, now they say it's a religion of peace. Okay. We're just gonna leave that alone. I'm just gonna, because I don't want to infuriate anybody. Okay. The Mountain Brook lady, evidently, Ella Cook, was targeted for conservative beliefs in the Brown University killing. But I thought I heard yesterday that her husband had something to do with this. Okay. AJ McCarron wants to be your lieutenant. Well, he did want to be the lieutenant governor. But now he's changed his mind too, because he figured out football is a lot easier. And so he's running for, he's going to get a job in the NFL now. Okay. So I don't think he was that good when he was, I didn't think he was that all good when he was quarterback in Alabama. And Jack Smith tells lawmakers his team developed proof beyond a reasonable doubt against Trump. I don't believe anything Democrats write about Trump. Absolutely nothing. And I'm almost getting to the point where I'm not believing anything that Republicans say for Trump. Okay. Former Justice Department special counsel who said the judge ruled that he was there illegally, told lawmakers in a closed-door interview Wednesday that his team of investigators, that's the word, developed proof beyond reasonable doubt that President Trump criminally conspired to overturn the results of the 2020 election, according to portions of his opening statement obtained by the Associated Press. Well, I was trying to get it overturned too. Yeah, I thought the man got cheated. Okay, and obviously looking at the history of all that, yeah, he got cheated. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he got cheated. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. They cheated the man. Okay, they made special allowances that had never been allowed before, just so Biden could win. And what are one of those allowances they did in 2020? Well, in Michigan, the law says you cannot send out unsolicited. What is that when you put in for something on the air? When you vote, when you're not there. What do they call that? Yeah. It's not. Well, I don't care where it comes from. They can. I ain't got no problem. We need to give our troops a little extra every once in a while because it's been a long time. What do you call that when absentee ballots? Yeah, you're not supposed to send out unsolicited absentee ballot. The California and Michigan sent out millions of them. We don't know who signed them. Okay, and that's what they did things in 2020. And there's nowhere in the Constitution and I want somebody, I will slap you in the face. Okay. No, I'll let you slap me in the face if you can show me where this is. There's nowhere in the Constitution of the United States, thank you, Joe, where you can vote for 5 days. It gives you the date that you should vote on. Nowhere in the Constitution is it even alluded to that you get to vote for 5 days on the presidential election. It's that Tuesday and that's it. Okay. So this stuff y'all coming up with, I mean, come on. Well, we had COVID. Well, we had the Civil War during Lincoln's time. They didn't change the rules of votership, did they? No, they did not. But come 2020, my Lord, we damn near changed the whole voting process. Hey, don't worry about that Tuesday. Yeah, you can do it like 5 Tuesdays before the elections. Okay, I'm just saying, you know. So they did a lot of things, and I personally think that it was illegal what they did. If you couldn't get your butt up to vote on the day that voting was supposed to be done, then you didn't really want to vote. You could always do absentee ballot, just put in for an absentee ballot, and you could send your ballot in. But this thing about allowing people to show up at the barbershop and at the school and all these things, absentee ballot is good. That's right. But you don't. There's nowhere in the Constitution that say you can vote 6 months to the election, and that's what we're having people do: 30 days, 40 days for the election. There's nothing in the Constitution, and there ain't a lawyer that can show me where it says that. Okay, voting is on the second Tuesday of November, whenever it is. You don't get to vote for a month. We had people voting for a month. You realize that none Donald Trump stolen election claims have been. Wait a minute. You know why they haven't been? Why they have not been? Why they have not come to fruition? His complaints, because the people that you're arguing against are the ones who are determining whether or not your complaints or your complaints are accurate, are in lead. Yeah, they lying too. And most judges, you know, they kind of liberal. Except when it comes to putting black folks in, except when it comes to putting crooks in jail, then they find all kind of reason not to put them in jail. So no, I'm not going for that. No, I ain't going for it. Nope, not even a little bit. Okay. Now, moving on to other thing. So veterans overseas fighting for our country vote should not count. I don't think you should. That's why it's called absentee ballot. Absolutely. But you should not get an absentee ballot and you're in the town. You're in the same town where you're voting in. But if you're overseas, the military, of course they should. But they should make them vote to the point, because most of the time they count the absentee ballot, the race is already over. Okay, let them send their absentee ballot in 90 days prior to the election. That way, on election night, they have them. Okay, come on, man. What you think I'm gonna talk against my military brothers? Of course not. But we know about order, and the Constitution does not give you 90 days or 180 days to vote in this country for presidency. I don't remember the elderly people. Let's see. So elderly people that vote in their own town should not count. I didn't say that either. But elderly people can do absentee ballots. Now y'all make my mind up. Either absentee ballot is for people who can't make it, or it isn't. And but if you live downtown, you can they'll send you one to the house, whatever the case may be. Bam, fill it out. But you don't get to vote for 30 days by going to the voting place. Yeah, and they did that. And there's a cutoff on absentee ballots. You don't just get to vote. Listen. Let's not be ridiculous here. But disabled veterans, what does that mean? I don't know that. I see a bunch of disabled veterans at the movies, at the liquor store, all kind of places with the disabled veterans tag. Does that mean you don't have the ability to go vote, but you can get every place else? You can go to the Rib Shack, you can go to a football game, you can go make groceries, but you can't wait till the day of voting to vote. Come on, man, give me a break. The Constitution does not forbid it, and the Constitution does not allow it. Show me in the Constitution where it allows you to vote for the presidency of the United States a long time before the actual election is. Just show me that part in the Constitution, I'll shut up about it. It's not in there. And if they had any sense, it wouldn't be there, especially with AI up here now. And I was watching Mission Impossible the other night, the old one. They went inside the machine and already gave the other guy 2,000 votes before they even open up. So don't tell me stuff can't be done. It can be. They can be cheated. Okay? Ask Barney. Barney is on the Mission Impossible, and he showed me how to do it. So y'all in it. That's a state issue. It's always a state issue, huh? No, the Constitution is a United States issue, and it does not allow in the Constitution for us to vote for a month for the presidency of the United States. And the only way we can get outside of that is absentee ballot. Okay? I'm just saying. So this disabled veteran crowd, y'all take that someplace else. My back hurts worse than anybody else's do, but I'm not a wuss. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But somehow going to the liquor store, going on base, I go on base. I see a lot of guys out there going to the top class 6 store, right? They go to the class 6 store and they got disabled veteran tags on it. So obviously everything ain't disabled. I'm just saying. So let's come up with a better one than that. Okay. I love when people use disabled veterans as if that's some special class of people. There are people who are disabled. What about the guy who ain't a veteran that's disabled? Should he be able to vote? Okay. The absentee ballot is the only way you should be able to vote. And the law says you must ask for the ballot. But California and Michigan sent out millions of ballots without anybody asking for them, which is against the law in their respective states. And they did not. They lied. We don't know who filled out those things. Okay. So moving right along to other things. And the other day, but y'all can continue to argue with my absolute fact. And I'm not a conservative. Okay. I'm a moderate. I'm in the middle. If it makes sense, let's do it. If it don't make sense, whether it's Democrat or Republican, let's not do it. Okay. And states' right, voting for the presidency of the United States has nothing to do with the states. That is a national election. It is the only national election that we actually have where people in every state is voting for one or the other. Other than that, your local representatives are the ones who represent you up there, but they are voted for. They're voted for locally. Okay, Republican can have the same opportunity. That's true, but the law says you cannot send unsolicited absentee ballots to people that didn't ask for them. Okay, Michigan did it. I think Philadelphia did it, and California did. They sent millions of absentee ballots. How do we know who filled them out? We don't know. Okay. And it does not prohibit. Okay, again, show me where it prohibits. It's not against the law. I didn't say, well, then they lied to me in 2020. They lied to me because that's the word I got, that they could not say. I know Michigan, they don't, by law, you can't send it out unless it is solicited, unless it is asked for. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, you the lawyer, you can find that one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't know why we keep trying to justify the cheating that went on in 2020. It went on in 2020. It did. Everybody knows it with common sense. It happened because they wanted to get a guy whose cognitive abilities had eroded then. But we wanted to make him president of the United States. And then once he got there, he didn't have he didn't have, and it's not his fault. It just when we get older, there's just things that we can't do. But then we try to make him seem that he was passing all these laws when he was using an auto pen. So I don't know who in the hell the president, was the president for those 4 years. I don't think any of us know who it is. Okay, there was no cheat, right? Well, maybe because Democrats think cheating means something else than what it really does. But yeah, there was some cheating going on. There was some cheating going on. There was some cheating going on. Okay, I'm just telling you. Anyway, I gotta take a pause for the call, so don't you guys go nowhere. I'll be right back. So don't go nowhere, and we continue this healthy discussion that we need to do anyway, because y'all are 100% wrong.
We change the world and history right here where we're from. It's new beginning to you and me, cause we're not done. And our city, in our city, in our city, we're not done. I'll be right back.
Okay, enough of that. That was enough of that. All right, I had to pause for the callers, but we are back. I'm trying to figure out something. And again, I didn't start voting until 1992. The first president I ever voted for, the first candidate for presidency I ever voted for was, and so to let you know, I've always been a little bit different. The little fella from Texas, the billionaire from Texas, that's the guy who I voted. My first president was him because I liked him. He was different. He talked common sense talk. And as it turned out, he was absolutely right. Remember that sucking sound he said was going to happen? And when we started having NAFTA and GATT and all that stuff, yeah, well, it happened. Okay. Yeah. Now it's hard to get anything made in America. It was getting harder then. What was that guy? Ross Perot. That was the guy who I voted for on my first presidential election. Okay. Let me see. I think your guy might, I think your guy might have some problems. Well, everybody got problems, but I don't believe nothing that the Democratic media writes about him. Absolutely nothing. Okay, they can tell me that Donald Trump walked down the street with his pants down, swinging his manhood. I wouldn't even believe that. And even if they got a picture of it, I'm gonna swear it down as AI. Okay, so I don't believe nothing they say about the guy. Nothing. Okay, unless I see it with my own eyes. I don't believe it. Okay. Let me see. I think your guy might have some problems now. Now, listen. We put a guy in the White House that didn't even know where the house was. Somebody else signed all the papers. Somebody else did the auto pen with all the what do you call those things they do? Pardons they gave. So, but y'all got one-sidedness. You know, that man can do anything. Talk about Trump. That man can do anything he wanted to do, and y'all make excuses for him. Okay, and y'all make all kind for Biden. Hell, Biden don't even know enough to make an excuse for himself, but y'all make excuses for him. But anyway, I ain't mad at y'all. Y'all keep on thinking. And no, I don't believe everything he says either. Trump. If Trump has a glaring fault, it is that he does not know. He got a couple of them. He does not know. He does not care to know, or he just doesn't know the art of communication. I will tell you that absolutely. He just doesn't know, and he's not a leader. He's not a leader like you are, First Sergeant. I've been in leadership positions. You know, he doesn't know how. He knows how to be a boss, and when he got there and found out that people don't have to do what you say when you in the White, just because you're the president, you're just a link in the chain, but you're not the whole chain. Okay, that's why we got a 3-tier leadership position. We got the Senate, we got the House of Representatives, and we got the presidency. Of course, the presidency is probably one of the most individual powerful seats that there is. But he's not much of a leader, and he just didn't know. Okay, well, some days I got bad character. Okay. Some days in my life you could have asked about my integrity. We all got something, and what we do is we sat on the sideline once we got away with our crap, and then talk about somebody else's crap. And if the truth be told, even in the Bible says there are none that are good. None. We all have done things that our mind just slips our mind when we think about somebody else. Okay? Like that girl I told her one time, if she didn't give me some, I'd kill myself. She believed it. I mean, I felt guilty afterwards, but I didn't. Yeah. And Trump, again, you're absolutely right, Dr. Joe. He got 77 million votes. Now, and here's the one question that nobody on the other side has answered me yet. Most of us in America have some semblance of an education. Most of us have at least finished high school. Okay, we finished high. So we have the ability to understand most general things. And so since I'm going to argue that most of us have a general intelligence that let us have walking around sense, like Mr. Bowling used to say, we got walking around sense. Okay, so why do you guys believe that a guy who had never held a public office, never held a public office, bought a lot of offices probably because people are always for sale, but he's never held a public office, why do you think his first office in America was being the president of the United States? First of all, it's an anomaly. It is something that the history books will say, wow, how did that happen? Well, I ask you guys a question. You know why it happened? Because all these so-called brainiacs, all these so-called intelligentsias, all of these people got us in a place in America that we never thought we'd be. We never thought that the Supreme Court would tell you that it's okay for a man to marry a man and a woman to marry a woman. We just it was so asinine that we didn't pay it wasn't very serious. Okay, I mean we didn't think that. Ooh, what happened? Oh yeah, we didn't believe that we would let people run into our country from other countries, bringing their drugs, their problems, their diseases. Do you know that there are diseases in America that had been taken care of until the last 20 years? Now we got polio, we got all these things because people come, and I don't blame the people. Let's get this straight. I don't blame anybody for wanting to come to America because America is the panacea of dreams. But we cannot take everybody. So we got diseases now. Well, the Democrats' approval rate ain't much better. Okay, the Democrats' approval rate ain't much better. Okay, and I don't have any buyer's remorse. I just don't. I think Trump has done a pretty decent job. I don't like his personality sometimes, but I don't. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see. Let me ask Siri. Hey Siri, what is the percentage of good and bad on the Democratic Party right now? Mm-hmm.
Okay, I found this on the web for what is the percentage of good and bad on the Democratic Party right now.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Check it out.
What is it? Okay.
I found this on the web for what is the percentage of good and bad on the Democratic Party.
Oh, it looks like, wait a minute. It looks like it's at a 35-year low. Why the Democratic favorability is at a 35-year low. Okay, then. That just goes to tell me right there that some of the stuff y'all be drinking out there ain't exactly what you think it is. Okay? Just because it's brown don't mean it's a brownie. Okay? I'm just telling you, don't just because it's brown and you eating on it, it don't make it a brownie. Okay? So, 35-year low. And that's what that's what you Democrats think is the worst president in the United history of the United States. y'all got, man, woo. Okay then. So I'm just saying, you don't believe? Okay, well, let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, let me show you what it says right here. Okay. Okay. What did I say right there? Okay. 30. Why is Democratic favorability at a 35-year low? Okay. I'm just saying y'all might want to think about that for a second because they suck also. At least Trump got an excuse. Hell, he ain't been in politics. He ain't been in politics, but what this is 6 year now? 4 when he's run 4, 5, 5 years. Yeah, some of these summer guns been there for 35 years. Nah, we're gonna leave that alone. Okay. Well, my insurance ain't gonna go up. The VA don't go up. Okay, and this insurance is because of Obama. Okay, substances. First of all, if we are going to pay people's medical bills, which some need it, then why don't we just give everybody Medicare or Medicaid, whichever one the federal program? Why don't we just give everybody that? Because you told people, and this is one of the reasons that Alabama decided not to go with that program, because they knew, yes, sure, we'd all have a great time for the first 5-10 years. But after that, it was going to go up and the state was not going to be able to afford to pay it. So that's why the state of Alabama turned it down, because you give me a temporary solution to a permanent problem. Okay, so that's why. See, and that's right, because Obamacare, okay, was supposed to fix everything. It did not. It made everything exasperately worse. Okay, Bernie Sanders suggested, and me too. Listen, and here's what I would do: give Medicare for everybody who can't afford the regular insurance besides the military, and then make them pay $100 a month. So let them put back into, and any of these cosmetic things they want, they pay for it. Like you need big booty, you know what I mean? Listen, do you know they got operations down to give you a bigger butt? Okay, I mean, I've been knowing about the bigger breast thing. Don't complain about too much about that. But we got operation to give you bigger butts. Okay, then you pay for that. If your butt ain't big enough, you pay for it. You pay for it. So I agree with Sanders on that. Give everybody outside military now, and you pay your way off of it. Well, you don't pay your way off of it. You turn it down and you get your own. But this is one of the reasons why when they said we're not going to accept that extra stuff that came with this program a couple of years ago, I said, well, I understand what they're saying. They said, hey, listen, you give me $5. Okay, you give me $5 right now because that's what it costs. Okay. And as more people get on, it's going to cost the state more. And the little money that they're giving us will run out, 5-6 years, whatever it was. Yeah, run out in 5-6 years. And hey, so I understand. Now, this is what they were talking about. Okay. They were talking about this. You keep thinking, see, this is the Democrat lie here. First of all, corporations don't pay taxes. Corporations collect taxes like the mom and pop stores do also. The owners of these corporations, I guess, these people, I guess they pay income tax like everybody else does, but they collect taxes. Okay, they don't pay taxes. They collect taxes, and those taxes have to come from people like you and me. Okay, now I will admit to you, my income's never been very high, so I ain't paid a whole lot. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't paid a whole lot, but I paid a little. I paid my share, okay, or what I had to. Okay, and I don't know why. Okay, well, Joe, well, show me how they pay tax. So show me how they pay taxes. Just give me the formula on the screen. How do they pay taxes? They collect taxes. They collect taxes from the employees. They got payroll tax, what the states give us, and I know they pay corporate tax. But that tax comes from not paying the employees as much money as you could, because if you did that, then that means that you got to pay more money because you have taken in more money. So at the same time, so where do they pay taxes? Any extra money at the end of the day comes from the hard work and labor of American citizens, because it's labor that you don't get. Okay, it's labor that you don't get. It's money, it's raises that these laborers don't get because Uncle Sugar says we want it first, which the government has. The government needs money to exist. There's no doubt about it. Okay, there's no doubt about it. But I wish we could just do away with money. I haven't figured out yet. I wish we could do away with money. I haven't figured out the thing yet. Well, I did figure one thing out. Everybody who's born in America should automatically get from the U.S. government $1 million. $1 million in a credit card. Now you can spend that money any way you want to, but when all that money's gone, you don't get any more. Okay, $1 million credit card. Everybody that's born in America. Hey, that ain't that's not a very bad idea. That way we can stop all this. Some people get more, some people get less. But but what will happen? Invariably, what will happen is rich people will still figure out how to get rich, because they'll still figure out how to get your money from you because you're stupid. And I'd be on the stupid side because I've never seen $1 million, so I'd be probably buying everything. But everybody born in America should get a credit card, like a Social Security card, that's $1 million, payable through the United States government every time you use that card. Now, one would have to be, because most of us in all of our lives have never seen $1 million. $1 million. Now the question is, what kind of work would you do? And that's another thing too. I haven't figured that one out. How would you earn? I don't know. And that's okay. Maybe we need a little socialism. Let the government pay for the housing and stuff like that. Who's going? Yeah, I know who's going to pay for that. Well, we're going to pay for it. But that's a good idea. I haven't figured out the whole plan yet. Okay, I haven't figured out the whole plan yet. But I'm pretty sure if you gave me a little time, there are people smarter than I am with the numbers who could figure this out. Everybody gets $1 million credit card when they're born. But once it's gone, there are no more government programs, except for those people who are intellectually disabled, are physically disabled. Then the government has a responsibility to help them. Okay, and so I'm good with that. Okay, I just got to figure out how to, because then what would motivate people to go to work? Well, you wouldn't have to go to work, but if you sign the card, then we determine what you do. Okay, we may need garbage people, we may need scientists. You can take I haven't figured it all out yet. I haven't figured it out, but I'm gonna put some more thought into that. Okay, but I believe that I'm on to something here. Okay, I believe I'm on to something here. Okay, and you take a test. You take an acuity test. You take a test that tells people what you believe that they are good at, what they're possibly going to be good at. And it don't. And I've already showed you, it don't take 12 years to get out of high school. It takes 9. Okay, in the 9th grade, we should be done, because after 3 years, okay, if you go to school for 12 years, you take 3 years off a year. How many years is that? 12 times 3 is 36. How many years are in 36 months? 3. Okay. 12, 12, 12, which means that we can actually start working earlier. What we do in our school systems in America, it is merely a place to give people a job. Okay, the education about it, I don't know how that's working. But again, we take 3 years off of 12 years of school, and we could be done with high school and we go to school on Saturdays and Sundays, or Saturdays anyway. And we could be out of high school in 9 years. Those other 3 years will be limited itself to learning a trade. Okay? And the only way you can get out of the trade that we pick for you is that you have to test out. Okay, so you want to be a scientist, huh? Okay, not a problem. Then take this science test right here, and let's see if you can pass it. Do you have the ability to do scientific things. Okay, let me see if I can get you this thing here, brother. Y'all give me a second. I gotta send somebody a link. Okay. Okay, where's it at? STREAM. YARD. Okay. .com. All right then. I'm just saying. I'm trying to help a brother out here because he's begging at the thing here. Okay, StreamYard.com. COM. Okay, / I know I should, but hey, I didn't know. I don't know why he can't get in, but everybody else does. Let me see here. That would be Yankee Delta Niner. Okay, Yankee Delta Niner. And that would be what's the other one? Come on now. Sierra Bravo Niner. Okay. Sierra Bravo Niner. Okay, I got you. I'm feeling this. The last would be Uniform Delta Victor Foxtrot. Okay, Uniform Delta Victor Foxtrot. Okay, that should get it right there. StreamYard. Okay, let me see if that. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I sent it to him anyway. Anyway, so other than that, what else is on the people's mind? So again, nobody answered the question this morning, though. Nobody's answered that question in 4 years. Why do you believe we put a guy in the White House with no experience in real experience in politics except buying the politicians? Why do you think? If he's so bad, why do you think we did that? 77 million people said, we're going to try this guy. And not only did they try him, every 2 days they were trying to impeach him. And even with all of that, I want y'all to think about this. With all of that, we still went back to the polls and voted for this guy rather than your guy. Now, there needs to be a scientific study. There needs to be a scientific study on why that happened. Why do you think that? See, I know why it happened. See, I know why. Because all the rest of you yahoos out there just talk a good game, but you don't produce anything. Black communities are still in the worst shape of anybody's community. Our schools are still the worst shape of anybody else's community. We still don't make the money that other people make. I mean, but yet and still, these are the black folks supposed to be looking out for the black folks. Okay, so I mean, the Democrats will be looking out for that. Here's what I like about the two parties. The Republican Party doesn't promise you anything, and that's one promise that they keep. The Democratic Party promises you everything, and that's the one promise they don't keep. So if I got to get out and eat, if I got to go eat, and I know that I've got to do it, nobody's going to give me another food stamp. Nobody's going to help me with my Section 8. And not that I think those things are not there, but those things should be saved for older people, not younger people. There's no reason in the world why a woman had to sit home and have 8, 9 kids and then tell me I need some help. Okay, you need some help, all right? It's called a chastity belt. But other than that, I'm just going to leave that alone. Okay, so we have been bamboozled for 70 years. Bamboozled and BS'd, and there's some other adjectives I could use also, but I won't. So listen, that's what I like about the Republicans. They don't promise you nothing, and they man, I sent you the video thing. Joe, turn that down. I sent you the video thing. What you called me on this line for?
I don't see it.
I sent it to you on your phone.
Oh God, again?
Well, that's okay. You can do this, I guess. But somebody else calls in, then I'll be messing. I got to bump you. So go into your phone.
Let me see if I can get the video thing.
Yeah. Go get the video thing because we got to see your face. Anyway, let me see what else is going on here. Elon Musk paid $11 billion in taxes in 2021. Okay. And doctors, engineers, and teachers are the top 3 Top 3 million. Yeah, because they got brains. I won't be in that group. I couldn't be a doctor. I just didn't have the. I may have been could have been a doctor, but I'm not going to allow myself. Nah, I wasn't interested in medicine. There. Okay. Well, you for some reason, my friend, you're not given access to your video on your phone. I see you there, but you're not given access, the right access from your phone. So try it again. He must be a Democrat. Try it again and make sure you give access to your phone and your camera. Okay, and that way people can see your smiling face. Wait, but wasn't Eric? What'd you say? Wait, what? Trump promised all types of things. Well, you smoke. That's true. All politicians promise all types of things because Americans. Oh, Philip, I got Philip there someplace. Y'all not y'all not putting the thing in there the right way for some reason. Okay, Philip, when you do think you have to give the phone access to your to your microphone and to your camera. Let me see. Let me see if I can show you guys how to do this. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna come up on the screen in a minute. Okay, it says Elk Dog in the studio. Bam. You see there? You see there? I'm online with you guys right now. Even though I'm online here in the studio, I'm not. When you click on that thing, okay, I got you, bro. I got you. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, let's go out of there. Okay, leave studio. Okay, because I know it's working because I just did it on my cell phone. So when you go in, when you come in the studio, you gotta give it, access to your phone and your video camera. Okay, move right along. One of these days I can figure that out, and we're gonna have some great conversations. And Philip Insler, who's running for a lieutenant governor, we're gonna talk to him next week sometime because I thought he was going back to New York. Okay, that's right. They don't promise anything. I'm good with that. Don't promise me stuff. Don't promise me stuff that you don't have any purview over. All you can do is say, I'll try. Yeah, he did promise all kind of things because he thought he was going to have people that, well, Philip, y'all, for some reason, y'all not getting it. You ain't got one of them cheap telephones, do you? Okay, we'll go through that next week because, but give us a call, Philip. The number is 521-2963. If you want to give us a call on the line, 334-521, what's it? 2963, 2963. Okay. So give us a call on our phone line, guys, because evidently it ain't working too good with you guys in your phone. I know that's modern technology. I realize, Democrats don't really, use technology well. But I love you anyway. Don't get me wrong. Okay. And the borders, for the most part, are pretty closed, my friend. Again, y'all haven't answered the question. And the question is, there's Joe. Joe, finally. Finally. What's up with you? Why it took y'all so long?
You sent a bad link.
I sent a bad link.
Your link doesn't work.
Okay, well, I kept seeing you, and you wasn't doing something right. But I ain't mad at you. Good. Well, good morning to you there, Mr. Democrat. How you doing?
I'm gonna say I'm listening. I tried to get off the floor several times.
Mm-hmm.
I went in, I took I had to go take some Excedrin.
What? Say that again.
I said you had to take some Excedrin. I'm like, you're so wrong.
Okay. Again, answer my question. Why did so many people, even the second time, vote for a man that you guys say is delusional, a crook, and every other adjective you can give him, but yet and still almost 100 million people voted for him the second time. So
it wasn't 100 million people, but
77 million. That's close to 100. That's close to 100. I'm just saying.
A little hyperbole there.
A little hyperbole. So why do you think that many people, if he's so bad and he'd already
Because
been in the White House.
because sexism is real in America. Sexism is real.
Sexism?
Sexism is real.
What sexism got to do with it?
They don't. People don't want a woman president. It's pretty simple and obvious to me.
No, we don't want a dumbass woman as president.
Well, you can't say that. You can't say she's dumb. The woman's hold on. The woman went to law school, which less than 99% of the people haven't done and couldn't do. Let me just say that.
How many lawyers you know that shouldn't be lawyers?
I know a few.
Okay, then.
I'm not gonna say she's one of them.
Okay.
But she's a woman, but America doesn't want that. And that goes back to Geraldine Ferraro. I'll tell you who's tried it. Democrats tried it in '84 with Walter Mondale and Geraldine Ferraro. She was the first. They tried it then. Didn't work. All right. Republicans decided they were going to try it with John McCain. Okay. With Sarah Palin. Yeah, that didn't work either. Okay. But Republicans didn't repeat the mistake that Democrats did. Okay. Democrats were trying to force that. And in my opinion, trying to make a statement when they should have been trying to win. Republicans say, yeah, we're not blowing this again.
Yeah.
So they figured it out. America, men don't. You said it yourself, Kevin. You don't want to follow a woman. You don't want a woman president. You said that yourself.
Not one who can't do exactly the same thing I can do. No.
Well, and there are a lot of men who feel that way, and there are a lot of men who feel who don't even care as much as you care about that. There are lots of men, and then there are lots of women who feel the same way too. I mean, Donald Trump has been in 3 presidential elections, and he's won 2, and the 2 he's won against women. So I guess he's good at beating up on girls.
Oh, that's your excuse. So it ain't because
I'm just saying what else? I'm saying what else do you have? I mean,
could it be that none of the other candidates, and now I would have voted for Condoleezza Rice in a heartbeat.
Woman, you wouldn't have.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead.
Smart, a lot smarter than I am, accomplished, and wasn't a Democrat.
No question.
Yeah, I would certainly would have voted for her. Absolutely. But Condoleezza, that other woman, who was Asian when she's in Chicago, when she in California, but she come down south, she did the same thing Clinton did. I don't feel no wage tied. That was such a joke. That's what I call proof-pablism. That was such
look, America is fascinated with reality TV, and they brought a reality TV star into the White House, and they like this nonsense and this drama and this crap that's going on, and it's entertaining, except real people's lives are at stake. And this guy's showing you who he is, and he is for billionaires.
Again, billionaires give us jobs. They give us
jobs.
I
don't suck with the billionaires. I don't. There was a time, Kevin. I'm going to do this next time I call here. I'm going to have this number for you. Yeah. I remember the time where we couldn't. Being a billionaire was a big deal. Now you can throw a rock and hit one.
Well, it's a different economy. It's a different economy now.
Yeah, it's a different economy. There's a lot of government contracts. There's a lot of grifting, and they aren't paying any taxes. They're paying the 40%. I asked myself a long time ago.
What about all the people they hire that are paying the 40% taxes?
That's not them paying it. I don't care. If I have to pay it, what difference does that make?
It's still his money.
Damn it. If I've got staff people who work for me and I have to pay more than 35%, not only paying my employees is one thing.
Yeah.
Paying their matching payroll taxes, which I'm going to come to in a second, is another thing. Okay. So that's something else. Then I got to pay my own taxes. But I don't get the same tax break. I don't get the same tax break that billionaires get, paying 8% and stuff like that. I don't get that. My money spends the same way as theirs, doesn't it? Does your money spend the same way?
Wait a minute. Don't Beasley Allen get that kind of money?
Let me say this. Yeah, and and they're paying whatever that highest tax bracket is too.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
they're doing what? But they're not paying the 8% that these other folks are paying.
Mm-hmm.
They're not paying. I mean, nobody's paying that. And so the game that people, particularly poor people, white and black, have to understand that this is about money. It has always been about money. And this is about wealthy people keeping it. And they don't care who they have to use or who gets hurt in the process. Donald Trump is not worried about anybody's health care. He's just taken care of. It's taken care of. And even if he were not in the White House, he still have enough money to take care of that. The interesting thing is how
I think we're jealous. I think we're jealous. I think people.
No, I don't think. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not jealousy. One thing I'd agree with Steve Forbes about. We could debate the number, but Steve Forbes had an idea of a flat tax that everybody pays. I really have an issue with that.
Yeah, I'm with the flat tax myself.
Yeah. Well, Steve Forbes. Steve Forbes. So I'm not punishing people for. I'm not being jealous. It's not about jealousy or anything like that. I mean, there's nobody who two things. There's no such thing as extra time and extra money. So I'm not saying people who wouldn't want it, didn't need it, couldn't use it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the dollars that the ultra wealthy through stock markets and everything else, they spend just like your money spends. The prices are the same. The dollars are the same. Why do they get a bigger tax break, okay, than anybody else? I told somebody, you get to a certain tax bracket and somebody starts moving percentage points, 1%, 2%, 3%, something like that. Now, when you don't have a lot of money, if you work at minimum wage or you're right at the poverty line or slightly above it or slightly below it, 1 or 2% savings is not going to do anything for you. That's not going to do anything. But what you can do,
that pays your money. Get a job.
Well,
get a career that pays your money.
Yeah, well, that's always been the rich person's response to that.
But that's
it's always been the response. Well, some of them didn't do it. Some of them just inherited it. Okay.
What's wrong with that? Somebody earned it.
Well, I didn't say anything. I'm going to say they didn't. I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. You're missing my point. I'm saying anything's wrong with it. What I'm saying is that it's not. I want to say it's easy to cast that out there and say, well, just go get a better job. That's easy to say that, but that doesn't address the point. And the point is the money spends the same way. When you move in 2 or 3 percentage points for people who making hundreds of millions of dollars or more, that is a new house in Rome. That is a new beach house in Bali.
Y'all just mad because you're not the one with the money.
Well, no, it's not mad. It's about what's fair and what's right.
Fair is what you use to get on the bus.
See, here we go.
Okay, that's what you use to get on the bus. The rest of that stuff is some sort of conceived notion that life is fair. It isn't. Why are people 6'3" and I'm 5'3"? Okay, I'm 5'7".
Well, that's you giving yourself 2 or 3 more inches on that, but that's okay. At least that's the only place. At least that's the only place you're giving yourself 2 or 3 more inches. The other places you really go short some folks out.
I gotta go, man, because my time is up. But it's always good to talk to you there, Attorney Reed. How can people reach you if they need any legal help from you?
334-834-2000.
Oh, 834.
We're gonna do this on Monday. We're gonna do this on Monday, and we're gonna cover two or three topics.
Sure,
so we're gonna cover two or three topics. I'm gonna defeat some of the misinformation you had out there, like absentee ballots and not being able to send that stuff in. And those are state laws, Kevin.
You're not right. And the state of Florida, the state of Michigan said you cannot send them out without somebody requesting them. And
then who did that? The Secretary of State? They'd be out of a job the next day.
And again, it's not my law.
Right. It will be the state law, but a Secretary of State is not going to send out ballots when the state law clearly says.
They did.
Why do we hear about this?
We did hear. How do you think I heard about it? You didn't
watching Alex on InfoWars. You know he's in trouble.
Yeah, I don't deal with him either. Anyway, man, I got to run, but I appreciate you coming on and sharing some of that valuable time of yours. Okay. Anyway, I want to thank all the people who gave us in our the thing that we do every year, Helping Hands Good Neighbor Award. You'll see us on Monday out there on the streets giving that money out to people who don't know that it's coming, and a few other people. So I appreciate you helping me. Next year we're going to make it bigger. We're going to make it better. Hopefully, if I'm still alive, because you can't take anything for granted. But if I'm not here, hope somebody would always do it, looking out for the smaller guy. And there are people out here who need help who won't ask. And another thing, don't sit in your house with people on your street that need something and you know they do and you do not help. Okay? They may need a heater. It's going to get warm the weekend, I think. They may need some food. We never know. How about knocking on the door every once in a while and say, do you need something? That always helps. Knock on the door every once in a while and say, "Do you need anything?" Especially older people like me. Well, I'm not as old as some of the people on the street, but I'm close. But anyway, I don't need anything. So thank you for asking. I appreciate it. All right. But make that something that you do this day. And that's just go out there and ask people, hey, do you need anything? I mean, I realize you should do it every day, but we can't do it every day because most of the time we're out there trying to survive our own selves. But you know what? If you don't take but one day out of a year and ask people, do you need anything? That, my friends, will be good. It is not the falling down that gives us strength. It is getting up each and every time we do. Okay. I'm planning on working today, but I ain't nothing else to do. I did find out what I needed to find out, so that's good. All right, then. So y'all have a great day. And I don't know if I'm going to. I work Monday, but then after that, I may take the rest of the week off until the first of the year because I need to, cogitate. Anyway, have a good day.
Every moment filled with your warm embrace. Through valleys deep and mountains high, your faith a beacon.
Oh, one more thing. Hey, Rashad, listen. Billionaires do create jobs. Okay? Oh, let me turn that down right quick. I got 3 minutes there. Good. All right, turn that off. Billionaires do make jobs. Elon Musk has created a lot of jobs. Okay? A lot of jobs. So stop all that whining. Okay? Please stop all the whining. The man has created jobs, and so he is helping the economy and helping other people. Now, just because he wants you to have some intelligence for him to pay you to get a job, well, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Okay? Rich people do create jobs. They create opportunities. And as long as you are prepared, you know what luck is? Luck is when you are prepared for the opportunity that presents itself to you. Did you get that? Yeah. Luck is when you are prepared for the opportunity that presents itself to you. So, see you later. Okay. Boy, you must be a big Democrat. Man, stop blaming rich people. I would just try to become one of them. Bye.